Sometimes things can get funky. And if things get funky, that means that we have to approach the foundation in a totally different way. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Delana Cherie, and if you are new to my channel, my goal here is to inspire women to love their makeup and love themselves. Today, we are playing with new foundation so that we can find some fun new products. I will be trying on the Creme Shop foundation. This is going to be a little bit different from how I have done my wear tests in the past. I'm just going to do the try on portion in this video, and then I will link right here the full review and you can check that out there. So that way, for those of you who are interested in just like the application and everything, the coverage, you can see that here. And then for those of you who want to see the actual wear time of the product and my full thoughts on it, you can go to that video right up here. So first things first, we must know something about what we are applying to our face. So I have the information pulled up on my cell phone here, and I'm just gonna read off to you guys kind of the description of the product from the Creme Shop website itself. So it says, we believe in foundation soulmates. The Creme Shop's Match Made foundation is lightweight, buildable, blendable, and gives full coverage. The unique luminous matte formulations makes for mannequin-like skin, solid but glowing in all the right places. All right, so I have not seen this foundation in a lot of places. Like, I only came across it in CVS. I don't know if they just recently launched it in CVS or what the deal is there, but it is $18, and it is $18 for 0.28 ounces. That is that real? Wait, hold on. That's not even 1 ounce, which is the normal size of foundations. So on the box on the website, it says that it is 1.06 ounces. The actual bottle says it's only 0.28 ounces. That's concerning. I wonder if that's a misprint, or if it's saying that like with the box it's 1 ounce, or what the deal is there. Like, what is going on? And it doesn't have any information in the description as to like the ounces or anything like that. I can only see it on the picture on the box. So I don't know, that's a little bit weird, but maybe, you know, it's a new company. It seems like it's a newer company, and maybe they're still knocking out all the kinks on their website and their packaging and everything in between. You just never know. I have my mirror right here in front of me, and we are going to apply this together. Let me zoom you guys in a little bit closer. That way it will also bring the lighting down a little bit so that you guys can really see all the details and how bad my skin is right now. Like, what is going on? I think it's the weather, honestly. I have like breakouts right here. I have breakout right here. My breakouts on my forehead have actually gone down, but they still there. So one side and not prime the other side. I always do this in all of my wear tests to get an idea of if the foundation applies really well, if that's due to the primer, or if it's just due to the great formula that it is. You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm gonna go back to my Strivectin Anti-Wrinkle Line Blurfector Primer. I'm just going to apply this to the left side of my face because this side is the side that has all the pores. All the pores. Then just really massaging that into the areas that I feel like need the most. I forgot how much I love this primer. It just feels so soft and beautiful on the skin. I really hope that this helps with the application of the product. I'm going to kind of experiment with applying with a brush. This is the BH Cosmetics 123 brush, and I'm also going to experiment playing with a damp sponge because that can really affect the way, like, some foundations just don't apply well with the brush and some just don't apply well with the sponge. So this way we get the full rounded thought. So I'm just going to pump a little bit onto my tray here. This is the shade number 12, like I said. If I said that, I think I said that. I'm just gonna take a little bit on my brush. Pretty good coverage though. Wow, look at that. Oh my goodness. I almost got a shade lighter than this because I was a little bit iffy on, it's just so hard to see through the boxes, like what the shades are, you know what I'm saying? Because the box is designed to where it has like a little window to where you can see the glass bottle through it, and it's just so hard to see. Like, how do I know what color this is gonna be? How do I know? But I feel like it is drying down and the color is changing just slightly, and as I'm blending it out, it's kind of making more sense. I do really like the way that it has applied on this side. Now I did use a different moisturizer because I have worn this foundation once before and I wore it with the Shiseido SPF. This is what I wear on a daily basis, and I have found that this foundation does not apply well over this at all because I'm liking this a lot better. And all I did today was apply the Glam Glow Water Burst. So this is more like a gel, like more lightweight. It doesn't have an SPF in it. I risked my SPF to hope that this foundation works well. It better work well because I'm not wearing SPF. And so if I risk my SPF for one day for this foundation to not work out well, I'm not gonna be a happy camper. But I really like this. It's not like full coverage, that's for sure. But it did give me just like a good even wash of coverage. I like the undertone of it. I feel like it's working really well for me. Now I am gonna take a little bit on my sponge and we're going to apply this to the forehead to see how it applies with a sponge. Now on an everyday basis, I do normally apply my foundations with a brush. I'm normally using the IT Cosmetics, I'll show you here, the IT Cosmetics Blurring Foundation Brush. This is what I like to use, but I wear like a tinted moisturizer every day. You know, I find that with my fuller coverage foundations, I like to reach for this guy. I really love this brush a lot. Such a good price too for BH Cosmetics. I mean, to perform so well and be from BH Cosmetics, like that's pretty impressive, you know what I'm saying? But I've always loved their brushes. Definitely more of a matte finish. Like you're just not gonna get a radiant glow with this guy, that's for sure. Maybe if you mixed in like a liquid highlighter into it. I'm gonna see if I can layer up the coverage with the brush because I know that I can definitely layer up the coverage with the sponge, but I wanna see how much I can build that coverage with a brush for those of you that really like the fuller coverage. I go for like a medium to sheer coverage on a daily basis, but I definitely like a fuller coverage whenever I want to feel more like done up. If I have a conference call or something like that, like a conference video call, and I want to look a little bit more put together than normal. So far, I'm liking it, but I'm not loving it, honestly. All right. Let's do a little flip-flop here. Let's work on the now primed side. So I'm gonna start with the brush again, since I already have it in my hand. I'm just gonna start to apply that. I do feel like this is a really good match for me. So that's, at first I was thinking it might be a little bit too light, but as it's kind of like dried down, it feels like a really good color. And they don't have a ton of shades in their line, but it feels like they have a decent range of shades, you know what I'm saying, from like light to dark. Like it doesn't feel like they're all medium shades. So I do really appreciate that, because I think this is either like 3 or I think this is the 3rd lightest shade, and I'm pretty dang fair, so that means that there's 2 shades lighter than that, so it gets pretty fair. I actually was wearing foundation before I got on to film this, so I am already wearing a little bit of actually a slightly darker foundation on my neck, but I am gonna bring this down a little bit. I don't want to bring it down a lot because I don't want to get it on my turtleneck, which by the way, I got this from Fashion Nova. I love it so much. Oh, this is why this always happens to me whenever I put Dior mascara underneath my eyes. Here's how everything looks from the primed to the unprimed side. I'm really not, I don't see a huge difference, honestly. I don't know. I feel like I'm not loving how this looks. I'm actually more leaning on the side of not liking it. I just feel like it's kind of grabbing to every little bit of texture, and this is how I feel with a lot of matte foundations. I feel like it's grabbing to every little bit of texture that it can, whereas when I do something that has just a little bit more of a natural to a radiant finish, I don't feel like it enhances so much texture on my face. So I don't know, I'm really not liking the texture so far, but it really depends on how it wears throughout the day, because that's exactly how it was for the Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation, and I wore it throughout the day and I ended up loving it at the end of the day, and I've even been recommending it to people. So it could be another Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation. Like I'll even link that video right here if you want to see like the full wear test on it and application and everything. It's all in one video. But yeah, not loving it, not hating it. Let's apply our concealer and everything over it to kind of see how those work on top of it, because sometimes things can get funky. And if things get funky, that means that we have to approach the foundation in a totally different way. So the first thing that I'm using that I always do is the Laura Mercier. This is the Flawless Fusion Concealer in the shade 1C. So it has like this really pink peachy undertone. And I just apply that directly, just right there where I need a little bit of color correction, where I have the darkness under my eyes. And then I just take a little concealer brush and I just kind of tap that in, because I don't really need that peachy tone anywhere else. I just need it right in here where I get the darkest. This is weird. I feel like I'm getting like these weird, like my redness is peeking through on the sides here, just on the sides of my nose. This is kind of interesting. Okay, and then like usual, I just take the Tarte Shape Tape. This is in the shade Fair, and I'm just going to apply that underneath my eyes just to give a little bit of additional brightness and coverage. Oh yeah, I definitely feel that the color of this foundation has changed quite a bit since the application. So I just do that under the eyes, and then the nose here, Cupid's bow and chin. And then I just use my sponge to press that in. I use a sponge whenever I want to kind of concentrate the coverage in a certain area. I always use a sponge whenever I want to concentrate coverage in a certain area. So like with a foundation, if you want to buff that coverage out into other areas of the face, then that's great for a brush. But whenever you are wanting to build coverage in like one particular area, that's where I really like to use a sponge just to press that coverage in. Okay, so then I've been using up this IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Pressed Powder. As you can see, like really using it up. Now this guy, actually I've learned, if you use too much, it definitely will give you some flashback. But it is truly, truly translucent. So if you're not taking photos and you have dark skin, like anywhere from medium to dark, this one really is translucent. Like I've used it on the darkest of skin, at least that I've ever worked on, to the lightest of light, and I mean it truly is translucent, truly. Okay, so whenever I do my wear tests, I usually only set one side of the face with powder. This time I set both sides just right in here, but I'm not going to set my nose or my chin, so we can kind of see, because this area, and this area is where the foundation always breaks up. So we'll know that if it stays in these areas, then it's because of how it was set with powder. And if it separates in these areas, we'll know that's because it needed powder. So I always like to do that so that you guys will know, if you're somebody who doesn't set your face with powder, you know how the foundation lasts without powder. So, but I love this powder because it just kind of gives like this smooth finish to the skin. All right, so now let's go in with some bronzer. So this is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess Bronzer. It has a slight shimmer to it, so you'll notice some glow, but this is what I have been using recently. Just with this little Sephora Pro, what is this? The contour. It's a contour brush. I've been really liking using a small brush for my bronzer recently, and just kind of really concentrating that bronzer or contour or whatever right underneath that cheekbone, and not like really blowing it out like I normally would. I feel like I actually like the effect that it gives better whenever I have it in a more concentrated area, because it gives more of the effect that I'm going for in the terms of that, rather than trying to blow it out and basically put it all over my face, which I feel like is a common struggle for us fair-skinned queens. So we're just all about the bronzer. So far, everything is blending just like normal, honestly. So no issues with this so far, but I am really curious to kind of see how it lasts with the products on top of it, because some foundations really cause my bronzer and everything to break up, and then some foundations really help it to wear better. So I am going to give this a full at least 8 hours of wear time, the full work day, you know. But that will be in the other video that I linked beforehand. So I'll also link it down in the description box so that you guys know to click over there, and it'll be on the end screen. So don't even worry about like missing it or anything like that. And then I always take a little bit underneath. I always want to go right underneath the jawline, because that way you get that contoured look. If you go on the jawline, you'll actually diminish the jawline rather than enhance it. And then just on the sides of the nose. This is what I do on an everyday basis. I just take a small brush. You guys are getting an inside scoop here. Quick everyday routine. I'm gonna try to go take some pictures with my husband right after this. So I'm just applying a little bit of that bronzer right underneath my eyes, just to give a little bit of definition. Let's do some blush and highlighter really quick. It feels like everything is blending really really well. So that makes my job easy because then I don't really have to worry about my blending. All right, recently I've been using the Sephora Precision Blush Brush, and I'm just gonna go in with the Milani Blush Coralina. This is what it looks like. Very old, very worn down, but I love it. I mean, it's gonna last me my entire lifetime, I'm pretty sure. I think I could pass this on to my grandkids with how long it's lasting me. Do you guys have any products that you're like, oh my gosh, I have had this way too long, I should probably throw it out, but I'm just gonna keep using it? You know, that's what these blushes are for me. All right, and I just got this Ofra highlighter. I did a live stream on my Instagram recently. This is the Ofra highlighter in Star Island, and on my Instagram I actually talked about, I used this for the first time and now I am instantly obsessed with it. So I just kind of smile and brush that onto my cheekbones. And I'm just using that same blush brush. Just get that glow, 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 glow. Oh, look at how beautiful that is. Oh my goodness, I can't. Let's do some down the center of the nose. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit on my pinky. This is like so buttery. I freaking love it so much. Like usually I'm using the e.l.f. Moonlight Pearls highlighter because I just love the finish and the tone of it. But that one you really have to like dig your brush into it, which is fine because it's like I don't know, $4 or something like that. So I don't mind having to dig my brush into it because I still get the same effect. But with this one, I just barely tap and it's just like so buttery and it blends so well and I love it. I am really, really excited to see how this wears throughout the day. So go ahead and click on this video right here because how it wears throughout the day, the application is one thing, but how it wears throughout the day is really what makes or breaks a foundation. So click this video right here and I will see you guys right over there.